Greetings everyone. So I bought this 2003 Mercury Grand Marquis, and from the first day it's had this problem of the blower motor only being on high or off. So that indicates usually a problem with your blower motor resistor. So I got a new one right here. This is a automatic one with automatic climate control. So anyways, reading the repair manual, it mentions that you have to take out these hoses. Now, I put my hand underneath to take out the screws of the old blower motor resistor, and there are a bunch of vacuum hoses that go into this housing over here. And I just took this off the bracket right there, and I took out the vacuum hoses. The white one right here connects at the bottom. The black one connects at the top, and you got cord that connects right here, and another little vacuum that actually connects right underneath right there. Anyways, you pop off, vacuum the cord, and these two vacuum hoses you actually have to push down really hard on this right here, and that unclips it from these rings that it has over here. So it goes right over. So push that, pop it off, and now you have access to your blower motor resistor. So this will mean you can change that, hopefully, if you got I got small hands, but we'll be able to change that without having to take out these hoses that go into your heater core, and everyone knows what a pain in the ass that is. So let's give it a try. I wish I could record myself doing it, but I don't have anybody record me doing it. But if you're even just a little bit mechanically inclined, I think you should be able to do it. So I'll get back to you. So finally got the blower resistor, finally got the blower resistor out. There was actually not a lot of clearance. It was actually pretty hard to get it out. Took me about 15 minutes of playing. I used a screwdriver to pry out the wires that connect to the blower resistor, and just to give you an idea how it works is because it doesn't actually plug into it, it actually plugs around it, around the housing of the blower resistor. So here it is. It plugs around it. At least mine did. And this is a 2003 model. Now, if they change anything, I'm sure they didn't change much. I could, in other years, maybe they changed the housing. Maybe it doesn't have the same type of housing. You should definitely try to insulate it with some, you can do petroleum jelly. That's what I'm going to do. Or dye grease on that if you'd like. But anyways, what I actually have to do is, earlier I had zip ties holding these up. I cut out all the zip ties so I can have more room, and I basically had to pull this thing out and push it down by pulling this hose up to give a little bit of clearance. And then after I pushed it down, I had to bring it out at an angle by pushing on the top left corner of that. So right here with my thumb, I pushed it down, came out kind of sideways, but I was finally get it out. Pretty happy about getting it out. So we're able to get it out without taking the hoses off. So let's see if we can do it with get it in with the hoses. It was kind of hard taking it out, so I don't know. It seems like it's usually easier taking it out than putting it in, so we'll give it a try. Alright, so this is one of those things where it's actually easier getting it in than actually getting it out. Just realize that when you get it in, I'm going to drop it. I put it at slight angle like that to get it in. Okay, so it doesn't go in exactly straight. You got to give it a little bit of an angle and it'll go right in after you give that angle. So, and that's it. And then it connected with just two little screws right here. One here on this corner and then one right there. And these are the screws right here. So they're the screws that actually create their own holes as they go in the plastic. So it might be hard getting it out at first, because when I took it out, I still had the vacuum housing still on there, so it was a little bit difficult. But I got this cheap tool set from Harbor Freight, the 301 piece on, and I just used a little 1/4-inch drive. And you could either use a 8mm on that, or you could use a 5/16. I used a 5/16. All right, so that's pretty much it. And we're just gonna connect that wire now. Get the screws on, the two screws on. I'll get the vacuum housing back on with the vacuum hoses and the wires back on. Oh, and I also disconnected this right here. And the reason why I did that is because I was putting an awful lot of pressure and I didn't want to bust that wire over there. So go ahead and disconnect that, because you will be pushing on it, and it gives you just a little bit more room and makes all the difference. Alright, now that it's screwed down, all we have left is, like I said, just connect this. And we'll get all the vacuums back in, and then put this back up on its bracket like that. Connect this wire back in. Connect the wire over here on the right side right there. And that'll be it. And it was pretty easy, actually. It took me about 40 minutes total, but I think if I did it again, I'd do it a little bit quicker. But yeah, take your time doing it. Don't break anything. These hoses are pretty strong hoses. You might have to push them out of the way a little bit. Obviously, don't rip it, but you don't have to be extra gentle with it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so we went ahead and connected everything back. And in case you're not familiar with the way these vacuum hoses clamp back on, when you got to take it off, they're little tabs. You squeeze those. I had a real hard time, actually. I mean, it hurt my fingers, but I finally got it off. You squeeze those, and then you kind of play around with it and pull it off. But putting it back on is so easy. You just push it up, and it just clicks right into place. And so don't forget, there are 4 separate things that connect to this, and then that right there, so that you don't ruin it when trying to work around it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna give it a start and make sure that I can now operate different levels of speed on my heater, or AC for that matter, finally. So If it doesn't work, this video is not up. If it's up, that means it worked, and that's your issue. If you can only turn it on all the way high or off, and you can't choose anything in between. Also, let me know if this actually helped you. I hope you find it helpful. If more people find things like this helpful, I'll put the effort into actually putting videos up, because not everything is perfect on this car. I think mechanically, it's freaking amazing. It works and runs well, but it just has a couple things that are off. I wish I did a video on the thermostat. I did not, but if you guys found this helpful, I might pull that out one day and show you guys how to do it. But anyways, that's pretty much it. So let me know if this is helpful. Thanks. All right, guys, let's find out. There it is. It's on very lightly. There we go. Thank God. I can now finally control my speed on the fan.